total drama Revenge of the Island. One of the worst seasons in my opinion, thanks to the elimination order. All the interesting characters got eliminated pre-merge, and we were stuck with people like Zoe in the end. Stacy, Dakota, Bee, Dawn, Brick, and Anne Maria, all of them had so much potential. Yes, I said Stacy, so what? And all of this is thanks to Scott and his strategy. And for your information, I hated Scott in Revenge of the Island, but loved him in All Stars. His strategy was to throw challenges and sabotage his own team, which caused the Toxic Rats to go on their massive losing streak, and we lost Stacy, Dakota, Bee, and Dawn back to back. This is like the worst way to start a show with a cast that people already hate. The thing that I hate with Scott doing this strategy was that he was never consistent. Like in some episodes he was trying really hard, and then just at the end of the challenge he just decided that he wants to throw the challenge. Like at least be consistent. So what if we took out Scott from the season? Like he was never there, never casted, and still were at his farm, or wherever he lives. There would be no sabotaging, and maybe some of our early boots might turn things around to make it much further. I mean, the cast was 13 people, so it was 6 versus 7. But now with Scott gone, it's all fair and square. I will go through the whole season, so I will talk about every episode. I will talk about the differences and changes that would happen if Scott was not here. It won't really be in a detailed way because rather quick, otherwise this video would be an hour long. Also, before we start, I just want to say that I have opened an Instagram, not really active there, just want somewhere to store my art in case they somehow get deleted. With that said, let's start. So, for the first episode, I thought the first thing that was going to change was that the teams might have been different. But going back and watching it again, I thought Chris was altering them between teams. So if Scott was removed, maybe the order would be changed. But for some reason, Chris is not consistent, and at this point just picked random teams for them. I mean, look at this.
Silent treatment, Team A. Bubble Boy, Team B. Zoe the Lonely, Team B. Aura Whisperer, Team A. Saved by a Girl, Team B.
So for the teams, I think I'm gonna keep the teams the same, and now it's finally a 6 versus 6. As for the challenge, I do think the outcome is the same since Scott didn't really do much in the challenge for this episode. It was mostly B. The Toxic Rats get their totem pole and arrive at Chris in first place and pick the mansion, but then the mutant maggots crash into it and steal the win. I just want to mention that this was a bullshit win. The Toxic Rats should have won this. Anyways, once again, I do think that the outcome is the same, and the rats vote out Stacy because she is annoying and won't stop yapping, just like me. So this episode also mostly plays out the same. The biggest difference, I guess, is that with no Scott, there would not be the Scott and Fang dynamic that happened. Also, Scott was the only one actively looking for the immunity statue, so with him not here, maybe someone else will get it. Or maybe I should just remove it completely, because I don't think it plays a huge role in this version of Revenge of the Island. As for the challenge, I still think the outcome would be the same. Scott tried to throw this one, but it didn't really work. The Toxic Rats would be much further ahead without Scott, but I do still think they would lose because Dakota was too distracted by the paparazzi, and I do think she still would get eliminated in this episode as well. Now it's time for the third episode, and I think here we are finally getting some big changes. One of Scott's biggest targets early on was B because he was so smart and helped the team a lot. With Scott gone, B is going to carry the team with no problem. So I think, instead of losing, the Toxic Rats would actually win in this episode, thanks to B. So the question is now, who is going to be eliminated from the mutant maggots? Let's take a look at our candidates. I think the people on the chopping block this episode would be Anne Maria, Joe, and Mike. I think Anne Maria actually was one of the most valuable players this episode. She is actually one of the strongest competitors on this season. However, her attitude and being obsessed with her hair was strong this episode. I think Joe is also on the bottom because of her bossiness, and people don't really like her, and she has beef with Brick, Cameron, and Anne Maria. And Mike because Vito keeping the flag was the reason they lost. But after thinking for a while, I hate to say it, but I do think that Anne Maria would be eliminated in this episode. I just think that there were too many people that would have a reason to vote for her this episode. Brick because he got punched, Joe because of their beef, and Zoe because of her jealousy. And I think that's enough to send her home. This is kind of sad because Anne Maria performed very well in all the episodes. Except this one, this was like her flop episode. I think if she was safe this episode, she would probably make it very far. Next, we have Finders Creepers, and this was the non-elimination of the season, and I am gonna keep it that way. I think the plot would be the same, and the outcome would be the same for this episode. The Toxic Rats win, the Maggots head to the elimination ceremony, and Brick switches teams to the Toxic Rats. I pretty much kept the episode the same because it was a non-elimination, so I knew it didn't matter that much. And now with Anne-Maria gone, I feel like Cameron is going to be more invested in Mike's different personalities, so they have a close bond without Zoe. Zoe and Mike still have their own thing though, but I don't care about that. Then in the next episode, with Brick now joining the Toxic Rats and Scott not here, there is no one stealing stuff, and the best thing is that no one is listening to the others' confessional. During the episode, the Toxic Rats were in the lead by a lot, but then Scott threw it, so they lost. But I think in this version where everyone is actually trying, they actually win, because the mutant maggots kind of flopped in this challenge thanks to Zoe. That means the maggots are going to the elimination ceremony again. Since they originally won, who is going to get the boot this time? Well, no bias here, but I do think the one most likely going home this episode would be Zoe. And no, this is not because I dislike Zoe, it's because it makes the most sense. First of all, she kinda almost killed Joe because she was flirting with Mike, so Joe almost got suffocated thanks to her. And without Anne-Maria saving her, Joe probably dies here. Then she lost the challenge because she kept looking backwards. Then what do you know? She crashed into a rock and almost killed the entire team, so Joe is probably a guaranteed vote because she almost died twice. I think with Cameron focusing more on Mike, he might offer to help with his personalities. But he gets distracted too much by Zoe, so maybe voting her out is the best thing to do. I can see Cameron using this to convince Mike to also vote her off, so Zoe is the fourth boot. So, a few changes have happened, and we are in episode 6 now. The change is that we got 4 girls eliminated in a row. Now is that better? That's the question. So, not many changes here as well because Scott kinda tried in this episode. I think for the fashion portion of the challenge, both teams kinda flopped because both Anne-Maria and Zoe are gone. Also, can we agree that Anne-Maria's design is much better than Zoe's? Hers looks like a mom or something. No offense to whoever's mom that looks like this. As for the rescue Lindsay portion of the episode, I think the outcome would be the same. Sam tries to do so, but flops. Chester puts makeup on Joe, and she punches the Sasquatch Amakwa. So the Toxic Rats lose again after their 3-streak victory, and I think the elimination would be the same where Sam gets eliminated. Also, I do not think a team swap is necessary at this point because Scott is not here, so I'm not going to add it in this version. Who cares? That team swap between Scott and Joe was pointless. As for this episode, I think the plot will be the same. Maybe with no Anne-Maria, Ezekiel might target someone else like Joe. Never mind, not Joe, but maybe Dawn. Or even Dakota. No, wait a minute, she is bald. Well, Dawn it is. Maybe she befriends the Gophers and helps her team lead the way out. Or maybe even tries to heal Ezekiel or something. I mean, look at him, he needs some help. But I do think the ending will be the same, where Brick somehow helps the mutant maggots, and they all ride out together and the mutant maggot statue just happened to land first. I hate it when a win is determined like this. This is like the 3rd time it has happened this season. As for the elimination, I do think it still would be Brick that gets voted out for helping the other team. And with Anne-Maria gone, there is no reason for anyone else to quit, so Brick is the only elimination in this episode. Now for this episode, to me it's just a filler episode to fill out the elimination spots. Dakota gets thrown back into the game just to get mutated and eliminated. So the plot will be the same and the outcome will be the same. So the Toxic Rats win and the person going home will of course be Dakota with Sam. As for the immunity statue, I have decided to just remove it because it's not really necessary for the end game of this version. I know you thought I would give it to Dawn because of the thumbnail, but y'all would just say that I have a bias and it's just favoritism. So hashtag clickbaited. Now, we have the merge, and honestly, it does look pretty similar to the original one. The only changes are that now we don't have Scott or Zoe, instead we have Bea and Dawn, which were 2 who were most affected by Scott's existence. Also, I feel like this merge is so empty, like 6 people. Really? So, what do you think? Do you like this new merge with Dawn and Bea, or do you prefer the old one with Scott and Zoe? Also, the dynamics of this merge are that they are kinda in duos. We have Bea and Dawn as a duo. I feel like they would be good friends and just understands each other. Cameron and Mike has the Mike's personality situation going on. And finally, Joe and Lighting has their rivalry, not a heated rivalry, the normal one where you hate each other. Now, for this episode, the two teams are gone and we have finally reached the merge. Now, looking back at the episode and the challenge, Scott was in the lead for most of it, but that was mostly thanks to Mike. So without Scott, I think Mike would probably win this challenge. So for this version, I will put Mike as the immunity winner. As the winner of this episode, he gets the sole vote on who will be eliminated. I looked at the rest of the cast, and I have decided that he would probably eliminate Joe. He was never in a team with Dawn, Bee, or Lightning, so his relationship with them is rather neutral. However, he is close with Cameron, and Joe picks on him a lot and makes fun of him. Maybe Mike wants to defend Cameron, so he has had enough of the bullying and decided that Joe needs to go. I was also thinking that he might would have eliminated Dawn because she can sense his personalities and stuff, so maybe Mike is scared she would expose him. But how do we know that she knows? Also, we love Dawn here, so Joe it is. As for the 10th episode, and we have finally reached the top 5. Just looking at the challenge, I do think that the winner for this one would either be Bee or Cameron, because this challenge is catered towards the smarter people. Who knows, maybe Dawn can command some mutant animals or something. But I think that the challenge is going to be the same. So I have decided that the immunity winner is Bee. I do think Bee is a little bit more smarter. As Cameron is more into science, I would say that Bee is more into technology, so he would have an advantage in this one. I think Bee can make a successful plan to take down the blimp. Meanwhile, Cameron's attempt looked accidental. As for the elimination, I have actually decided that the loser is surprisingly going to be Mike. I was thinking that it would either be Lightning or Mike. Lightning because he is generally disliked and probably the strongest of them all. As for Mike, we are 10 episodes in. More people probably have figured out Mike's personalities at this point. I mean, Dawn kinda already knows. And Bee is very smart. So that's not gonna be hard for them to figure out. So they voted Mike out because he was a threat, especially when he becomes someone like Svetlana or Manitoba, as that is huge advantage for Mike. Maybe Bee and Dawn had a mini toxic rats alliance to keep Lightning safe. Also, voting out Mike makes Cameron closer to them, because I think that Cameron would rather side with them than Lightning. We are almost at the end now. We have the top 4, and looking at them, I think it's a very decent one. The best part about this episode is that we are not gonna have a Commando Zoe segment and plotline. That thing is gone. As for the challenge, I'm just gonna look at the race portion of the episode, because the eating one didn't really matter. It was just to have DJ as a cameo. I think for the challenge, they would naturally probably split up in duos, Dawn with Bee and Cameron with Lightning. As the episode plays out, Dawn and Bee get ahead, but with some total drama plot twist, Lightning somehow makes it to the finish line first. However, I do think that the ending will be similar, where Lightning celebrates and backs up, but it's actually Cameron who touches the pole first and wins immunity. I think the elimination here is pretty simple. Dawn and Bee would probably target Lightning. So would Cameron, because Lightning is not happy with him, so Lightning would get eliminated in this episode. That means that one of the original finalists just got eliminated, so the question is, who will now be in the finale, and will Cameron make it in this version as well? So here's the final 3, and I prefer this much more. We have 3 smart people who can actually think and strategize, and they have their own advantages. Bee has the technology and creativity, Cameron has the science and knowledge, and Dawn has nature and the animals. So this is gonna be interesting. Well, this is the episode before the final, so who will not make it? So for this challenge, it's another to collect the object, and then reach the finish line and win the challenge. It's like we have had a lot of those challenges in this season. Let me count. Episode 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11 have had some kind of reach the finish line objective. Maybe that's why I didn't enjoy the challenges in this season, because they were all the same. But for this one, I do not think Cameron is gonna win, because without Zoe, he would probably get eaten by Larry, so he is out of the race. Between Bee and Dawn, I would like to think that Dawn can somehow use her mother nature to calm Larry down and somehow win immunity. So I know a lot of people are gonna come at me and say I have a Dawn bias, so she made it far just because of that. So let me change the ending and do a plot twist. Dawn wins immunity and gets to choose who she wants to get eliminated. However, the plot twist is that she quits. This is not worth it. All this radioactive toxicity is hurting all the plants and animals. after talking to the plants and the animals, and Larry, she has had enough. She must do something to save them. So she walks into the forest and vanishes. So Chris just announced that the final two is gonna be Bee versus Cameron. So here's our final two, Bee and Cameron, and what happened to Dawn? Well, I will reveal it now. So it's time for the finale. And as you can see, I changed the title from Brain vs. Brawn to Brain vs. Brain because they are both smart. See what I did there? As for the episode, it's different. There are no radioactive toxicities anymore, and no mutant animals. That's because Dawn reveals that she cleaned up the whole island. What a queen she is. That means we will have a fair and square finale without any mutant animals destroying everything. As for the finale, I do think it's going to be the same challenge. Find something that is the scrap and build something to destroy your enemy. With both Cameron and Bee being smart, we are gonna have an epic fight. It's gonna be equal and not one-sided. As you know, Total Drama has alternative endings, so both kinda wins. However, I will make Bee the official winner in this version because 1, Cameron already won, and 2, I like Bee and prefer that he wins. So that means, without Scott, Bee is the unofficial winner of Total Drama Revenge of the Island. As for Chris, he is still gonna get arrested for all the terrible things he has done. So that was it, Total Drama Revenge of the Island. If Scott was never on the season, do you prefer this way or do you like the original version? I'm mixed. The only thing that upset me was that Anne Maria got an early boot, like she was the iconic queen of the season, so that's sad. Anyways, Zoe early boot. I will take that every day, and you know what? With her being an early boot this season, I would be fine with her winning All-Stars. Here is also an elimination table I made, so you can see how the season progressed. Okay, so that was it for the video. Do you have any other what-ifs idea of Total Drama I can do? Be sure to comment down below, and maybe I will do that. If you like these kinds of videos, be sure to like and subscribe, and maybe I will do this as a series in the future if the demand is high enough. Otherwise, this will be another flop video. Anyways, see you in the next one. Bye!